Hello, everybody. Welcome to your October Part 1 video scope. I want to thank you for subscribing, for tuning in. I've invited my guides to come in and give a bit of an introduction regarding the passage ahead. I've been working with them for years, and I think this is the first time I've introduced them on this platform. Uh, the stretching and pulling you're experiencing through this year regarding systems of governance and social institutions is laying the very groundwork for your soul's growth and evolution. We want to draw the analogy of the amusement park ride that is both thrilling and sometimes scary. How you respond to this dynamic time depends on your specific attitudes and belief systems. While this is, of course, a stressor on the systems as you have known them, we also want to acknowledge the great potential here for personal growth. Giving birth to another level of identity and purpose is not always comfortable to the conscious mind that likes to know the roadmap ahead of time. The more you can detach from preferred outcomes and turn your attention to self, the better. This is a time to aim towards more internal harmony and balance. This has, in fact, been a year for upgrading your personal operating systems, and the external world provides the drama and push while these internal systems are awakened more deeply to your concept of self and the search for deeper life meaning. All are in a quest for expanding their sense of purpose, renewal, and identity. With that, let's now go on to the geometric patterns at play. Mars, of course, as we open to October, is still an orb to his square with Saturn from 25 degrees of Aries to Capricorn through the 3rd of October. And possible expressions of this can be a sense of apathy. Fatigue would be reasonable. Increased focus, frustration perhaps, moving through obstacles and limitations from those who have authority over you. But additionally, some of you are feeling some old experiences really bubbling up to the surface from your past, especially regarding fears and hesitancy and confidence issues. This is reasonable and on purpose now. This transit will actually finalize its effect the first week of January, when Mars has transited finally into Taurus and Saturn has positioned himself into Aquarius. So this will be the delivery system. Trust this process of growth and sometimes discomfort within you. The full moon, the first of two this month, is on the 1st of October, and it's exact on Thursday at 9 degrees of Aries, and it conjuncts Chiron. So this is, of course, magnifying the theme of wisdom gained through past experiences and connecting with kindness regarding relationships and the emotional elements of your life. Chiron is dealing with that wounded child from the imprints from the 3D programming that we all received from our parents in schools and institutions. This is where the deep dive is, over and over and over this fall and into the winter time period. This may also highlight health themes and developments, full moons on the planet as well. It's exact at 5:05 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So this is about balancing yourself with others as the sun is in Libra. Subjective awareness, emotional developments, personal developments in your life. Friday, October 2nd is a busy day energetically as an uplifting energy arrives through, it's an orb through the 10th of October. So from the 2nd until the 10th of October. And it's regarding your personal expression and leaning into curiosity and study and teaching and learning and your local community and relationships, because Mars is now moving into a supportive Mars, your will, your confidence is moving into a positive sextile with that North Node in Gemini of the conscious mind, knowing. Mars experienced some pressure or fatigue with Saturn and is now encouraging new forms of thought, internal narratives. You talk more to yourself than anyone else. This is a ripe time for being the watcher of how you're communicating with yourself. You'd be stunned if you were aware always of what you were saying to yourself. Thoughts impact energy. So this is an encouraging of new narratives. It's a positive time to really be aware of encouraging narrative choices with self and others. Additionally, we have the final Jupiter-Neptune sextile that is in orb through the 20th, so the 2nd through the 20th. It's exact on the 12th. And Jupiter is now direct while Neptune is still in retrograde status. Neptune will station direct in November. So letting your optimism flow and your spiritual inclinations and inspirations and creativity and meditative practices, art, empathic awareness, and compassion really comes alive now and feels more accessible to your day-to-day. And then finally on the 2nd, the archetype of value and personal preferences and interpersonal relating and finances, Venus, transits into orderly Virgo through the 27th of October. And where we find Venus is where we feel more inclined or derive more satisfaction from, things like tidying up your space, getting organized, tending to health, tending to fitness, tending to nutrition and diet, and enjoying and supporting those daily habits that populate our lives. I call them activities for daily living. Sometimes I'm overwhelmed with all of the ADLs it requires to be in a physical body on this planet. There's a lot of things we tend to. This is where you can find some pleasure in this and maybe tighten things up and let go of some habits or some processes. There may be a lot of value here with your products and your services and helping other people out. Again, the area of domestic pets can be a source of pleasure and value as well. Now, Sunday, October 4th, the final of the big players in Capricorn, Pluto, stations direct at 22 degrees of Capricorn. And as we know, Pluto seeks transformation in Capricorn, which is systems of governance and corporate operations and societal institutions. Pluto also seeks power and can enhance these very entities with an increased thirst for control and wealth and status. Following Pluto's station, just like Saturn's last month, Mars in retrograde is there to greet him through another square aspect to Pluto, as it's simultaneously conjuncting Eris. So the Eris-Pluto square is in place over some time, and this is the people standing up for themselves, which is great. And this transit is an influence from October 6th through the 12th. It's exact on the 9th of October. Be very aware of your internal scripts now and anger and reactions. Eris represents rage at the systems, while also igniting a desire for autonomy from these very systems. Now, Mercury is also opposing Uranus as he's slowing for his retrograde and review, exact on the 13th of October. And Mercury opposition Uranus can be brilliant. It can be literally inspired downloads from your guides, from your higher self for creativity while you're in the midst of a creative project. You're mining the source data out there. But it also can be very reactive and people responding in a very reactive way. So you want to tread softly through here. Mercury is holding a sextile to Venus from 12 degrees of Scorpio to Virgo from October 11th to the 13th, magnifying health themes, finances, big money, your systems of support, and the potential for money and relationship themes. Agreements, discussions, commercial activity may be hovering in this field of potential that may not fully come to fruition until after Mercury stations direct on November 3rd of all days, heads back into Scorpio on November 10th. So Mercury retrogrades on the 13th through November 3rd at 12 degrees of Scorpio. And I don't vilify Mercury retrogrades like some practitioners out there do. Yes, it's disruptive from normal patterns and rhythms in life, and it can disrupt communication systems and our own mind, especially around the days of the station. So let's say from the 11th to the 13th, and then again from the 2nd to the 4th of November. But we're going in, turning down the external noise to go within. We need this invitation through the Mercury retrograde cycles to review our ideas and our plans and, again, our thoughts. Mercury in Scorpio is deep and perceptive and not satisfied with superficial answers and discussions. In Scorpio, you want depth and insight, a little bit of the private investigator energy here, and it's a cautious time. And some will feel more suspicious, guarded, protective. Mercury, Scorpio, words can be used as weapons. But Mercury will retrograde back into Libra on the 27th of October through November 10th. Courts and justice systems are highlighted with Mercury retrograding back into Libra, which is the 10th house of leadership here in the United States, the president. And you may feel drawn to former connections and ideas and collaborations during this time, reconnecting with people to understand more deeply. And Mercury will station direct on the 3rd in the 10th house of presidents and leadership. Then it will head back into Scorpio, the 11th house of political parties and decisions, on November 10th until December 1st. We conclude this video with a nice little T-square because the sun is moving into square with Pluto, and it's simultaneously opposing Mars and Eris, anger, rage, systems, institutions, but also conscious awareness of Mars, Eris, independence need, doing things differently needs, right? Eris and Aries is individuality and breaking free from old programming and scripts and ways you've been told to do things. And squaring Pluto, of course, power structures, whatever that may be in your own personal life and then at the global level as well. And this occurs from the 13th of October through the 16th of October at 22 degrees of Libra. Legal issues, power, and self-empowerment are all themes through this passage. But this T-square, this tension, empties out into Cancer. And Cancer is about business and family and mom and care and nurturing and support. and connecting with emotional protection and real estate and restaurants. So it's the heart space. It's the heart space that has an outlet for processing and expression through this T-square period. And people are under pressure, for sure. And there's a lot of potential for growth in your own awareness and interactions with others through this time. Interactions with self first informs interactions with others second. The sun is also in trine to that North Node in Gemini as we finish out this period of time. So I never see tense or growth-inspired aspects without support mechanisms riding right along with it concurrently, always. Problem, reaction, solution. Here's a new way to try this. So with the sun trine, the North Node in Gemini, this is about choosing for balanced discussion and communication and diplomacy and relating, travel, local travel, neighbors, neighborhood, school systems. With the trine to the sun in Libra, there may be some legislation or some decisions around school systems during this time. But this is about choice of thought and your approach, okay? Powerful time on planet. I work in transformation coaching. That's kind of my specialty. Transformation with life, vocation, spiritual, etc. Links to that are below as well. Much love to all of you, and namaste on the period ahead.